could ask you to dance, and you could say, well, I don't feel like dancing. And then I could say, well, maybe some other time. Or I could just not ask.
Hi, this is Eirini from the Fun Carpet. We are here at the BFI London Film Festival 2017 at the opening night gala for Breathe and Serkis's directorial debut.
It's quite an honour, and I'm thrilled beyond belief. Not only because it's, you know, it is my directorial debut. The London Film Festival is a festival I've been coming to for years, and there's some great stories, great filmmakers show their work here. This cinema, I've opened many great films with lots of extraordinary directors as an actor, and now to be here with my own film and to tell such a great story, which I think is a really valuable story and a story for our times.
Oh, I read it from start to finish in one sitting and cried the entire time, and just was so moved by her and it, and just loved it. There was nothing about it. I thought it was absolutely perfect in every single way.
Oh God, I mean, you know, I love that period of preparation and research. It's my favourite period because you get to just steep yourself in a kind of circumstance that you're not familiar with. So I find that fascinating. It's like being at school with subjects that I'm very interested in. It was really, really interesting. You know, I'd never done anything like that before, so I found it very, very interesting and challenging, and but ultimately kind of fun in a way.
What's the biggest challenge you had?
Well, these are real people. Imagine I'm writing a story about real people, and they're right there. And I'm making stuff up because I don't know what these two said. Have you seen the film? Yeah. You've seen the film. But there's a lot about the experience of these people talking together very intimately. I don't know what they really said, so I have to make it up. And then I think, oh my God, they're going to be looking at it, and they're going to say, I didn't say that. So, but luckily, it's worked out. And luckily, Diana, crucially, who's one of the characters played by Claire Foy, she's given it her blessing. She says it's okay, although she does say, I didn't wear hats like that. So.
The thing was, I'd already started to direct Jungle Book, so and then this window of opportunity opened up to work with Andrew and Claire, and so we grabbed it. We got permission, and were able to shoot this movie very, very quickly. But it was just wonderful to be able to concentrate purely on performance, and unlike the other big movies that I've been working on, where there's lots of visual effects involved, this is all about, you know, what's going on, you know, in a very intimate way, and so that was an extraordinary privilege to work with the cast in that way was a real treat.
I think all of them have vulnerabilities, and all of them have strengths, and all of them have weaknesses, and all of them are strong and but also incredibly complex, and I think all women are. We all are. Come on. And so I am a woman, and so hopefully I'll continue to do that. I don't think I'll ever play a woman who's not, because I would refuse to.
Dr. Khan, who works at the hospital where Andrew's character, when he gets the disease, he comes back to the UK and he's in a hospital where they have iron lungs, and I'm the doctor that helps him to escape that hospital because he wants to move back home to be with his wife, and he kind of assists that. And it's a nice little funny subplot.
It happens usually with script writing. They let me do a whole draft, and then they make their comments, and then I do another draft, and then they make the comments. Because you can't write constantly checking every word. You can't do that. So, yes, he did indeed let me run wild. And he just said, do whatever you want to do. So we worked from that basis. And then, of course, I would row back, or I would put in stuff, or I would change something. Because it's not my story. I don't have the right to say, oh, I'm the author, it's got to be like this. You know, you can't do that. And I didn't want to. I wanted them to say, yes, this is real, this is true. And I cared about that more, which is kind of lovely, you know, because the film business, it's a pretty nasty business a lot of the time, with everybody's egos pushing and shoving all the time. And I said, look, this isn't about me, this is about them. So I'm just really grateful that we pulled it off.
How do you go about scoring a film? Do you score it according to the script and the scenes, or according to the actors that are in it?
Yeah, I think it's all of that. I mean, you're scoring, you're really looking for great performances, and luckily there are great performances in this film, but also about, I guess, finding the narrative, working very closely with Andy's vision of the film and how he perceives the story, and also Jonathan's. So it's actually taking into account multiple aspects without ever being too much in your head. You know, it was about finding a feeling to the film and responding with your heart heart as much as your mind.
We were in a hospital, and I mean, it was a set, but you had the iron lungs there. They talked us through how they worked, and a lot of them were operational. You know, they were moving and they were working. I did do a little bit of research because I was playing a doctor who kind of specialised in that. But Andy was great as well because he talked us through it. It was quite a thorough audition process. You know, he wanted to kind of go through the scene quite a few times. We did lots of Skype sessions, so yeah, there was a lot of kind of work done before we even got on set. Some of them were just chats with Andy, but yeah, and a phone call maybe. But it's all part of his process. He wants to get to know actors and make sure that he's working with people who he can trust to deliver the story. And because he's an actor himself, he understands how we work, and he wants to choose a cast that's just perfect for his film.
I hope that it inspires people to fight for their own lives in a way.
I want to say it's not my story, it's the real story of these real people, and they're crying and they're emotional because of what Robin and Diana did in reality, not because of me. So, I mean, I was crying too when I heard the story, and I thought all I can do is not get in the way of the truth of this. If I can deliver a script that doesn't mess it up, then I'll have done my job.
Real stories are always fascinating, biopics in general. I've personally always been fascinated by them, and seeing people, well, actors play real people, and having that opportunity. I know that my character did exist, and I spoke to the producer about it because the producer, it's his own story. So it's always great to have that reference point and be creative with it as well. You know, you can have a creative license to serve the story in the film, but it's always it's a wonderful opportunity to play a real person.
They're an amazing couple. They're an amazing people individually, but their combination, their chemistry was very rare. Do you see people come together in like that? I mean, it was wonderful to watch them.
What do you admire the most about your character?
Everything. Her whole being. I love her.
His sense of humour, his wit, and his ability to laugh in the face of adversity.
What was it like working for this specific film? Because obviously it touches disabilities and all sorts.
Yeah, well, it's I kind of really felt the responsibility of scoring this because it's a true story, and I'm also working with Jonathan Cavendish, who's one of the producers, and you know, this is a story about his father and what he came through. But I think the film tells itself in a lot of ways, and it's about finding, I guess, the emotional subtext of what was going on. You know, we set it up with a real kind of fairy tale romance in terms of the opening montage musically, and then we also descend into Robin's personal hell, and so that's a real challenge to actually really find all those highs and lows in the music, and I guess doing that without it sounding anachronistic or at the same time too manipulative or saccharine or anything like that. It was about really reflecting the feeling of the film, and I think the film is very inspiring.
Did you ever have a moment in which you thought that bringing your parents and story to the big screen was too difficult to do?
Yeah, every day for about 2 years I did. I thought it was too difficult until I watched the finished film, and I thought, okay, we've, you know, with all these amazing people, the best crew in the world, the best director in the world, and incredible actors, they've all made it work. And that was the first time that I thought we hadn't made a mistake.
It's wonderful, you know. He didn't feel like it was his directorial debut at all. It felt like he had been doing it for a long time. He kept the set moving, and he kept everyone together. He created a real community.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, where we will have a lot more for you next time.
I love my life.
Breathe. I think he should be in hospital. No?
You're quite right. No.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.